On the there's a filing cabinet. There's a filing cabinet on the left side, left wall. It's showing that in the TRUU. Yes, yes. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Two Rivers Unitarian Universalist Community as we continue our winter solstice celebration by welcoming the light. A special welcome as well to those who are here for the first time in person or in Zoom. My name is Liza Ferrier, and I will be serving as worship associate today with Reverend Zenshin Florence Kaplow as our speaker, who is in person, all the way from Illinois. Yay. I want to express our gratitude also to Greg and Kathy Feinsinger for serving as setup and hosts, and to Bill and Nancy Flood for serving as coffee hour hosts. And thank you to our co-music directors, Paul Dankers and Micha Schöpe, for always giving us incredibly beautiful music. And to Reverend Florence for coming all the way from Illinois to support our two solstice events. And much gratitude to Andrew Ferrier for learning to fly Zoom and YouTube, allowing people to join us online. If you would like to connect to our community, please leave contact information on the back of the order of service. We also invite those with pastoral and caring committee concerns to use the back of the order of service as well. Please stay for coffee, cookies, and conversation afterward. We will now begin with a musical prelude sung by the TRUU singers. Each Sunday, we light a flaming chalice as an acknowledgement of our Unitarian Universalist faith. Please join me for the special words for this solstice service written by Reverend Florence for us. In this darkest time of year, we honor the sun's return. In the darkest seasons of the soul, we recognize within the dark there is the dawning of light.
Unitarian Universalists affirm the spiritual teachings of earth-centered traditions that celebrate the sacred circle and seasons of life on our planet. In areas that have winter, ancient and modern people celebrate the winter solstice, the longest night of the year and the returning of the light on the next day, which is what we're doing today with the sun streaming in our windows here. So we gathered this morning to continue our celebration of the winter solstice, which was last night, December 21st. And thank you so much for those who joined us in that honoring of the dark that we did in the round room last night. Also, in many earth-centered and pagan traditions, ceremonies begin by honoring the four directions. And so I'd like to invite those who are directions this morning to get into their places. Lovely. And so we will honor the four directions by lighting a candle. Actually, Ayana, you go back there to east. So you'll notice that they are actually dressed in the colors that are often associated with the four directions. We have blue, white, yellow, and red. So Liza, why don't you come up with me, because we are going to share this here.
In the midst of winter, we give thanks for the gifts of the East, the season of spring. The element of air resides in the East, and we honor air's gifts of beginnings, birth and rebirth, breath and spirit, and renewal.
In the midst of winter, we give thanks for the gifts of the north, the season of winter, the time of rest for the earth. The element of earth resides in the north, and we honor earth's gifts of endurance, perseverance, and strength.
In the midst of winter, we remember and give thanks for the gifts of the west, the season of autumn, and the abundance of harvest. The element of water resides in the west. We honor water's gifts of dreams, visions, and inspiration.
In the midst of winter, we remember and give thanks for the gifts of the south, the season of summer. The element of fire resides in the south. We invite fire here to warm us through the winter. We honor fire's gifts of energy, love, passion, and joy.
Please join us in singing a joyous UU hymn, Enter, Rejoice, and Come In.
Rejoice and come in. Enter, rejoice and come in. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice and come in. hearts, everyone. Open your hearts, everyone. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Don't be afraid of some change. Don't be afraid of some change. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in.
Circle round, and I'll tell you a story about when the sun was born again. This is an interactive story, so get ready to be part of it. It was the middle of winter, and the sun had grown very old. All year long, the sun had worked very hard, rising and setting day after day. All year long, the sun had fed everybody on earth, shining and shining, giving energy to the trees and the flowers and the grasses so they could grow and feed the animals and birds and insects and people. All year, the sun's gravity held tight to the spinning ball of the earth and the twirling ball of the moon and the 8 other whirling planets as they traveled around and around and around until the poor sun was dizzy from watching it all. Now, the poor tired sun could barely make it up in the morning, and after a very short time needed to sleep again. So the days grew shorter, and the nights grew longer, until the day was so short it was hardly worth getting up for. Night felt sorry for the sun. She said, "After all, I am your mother. You were born out of darkness billions of years ago, and you will return to me when all things end. Let me cradle you now as I shelter every galaxy and star in the universe." So night wrapped her great arms around the sun, and the night was very long indeed. All right, in a moment, we are going to have our audience participation. Those on this side, near the windows, are the children of this story. I want you to connect with your inner child. Those on the door side of the aisle are the old ones. I would like you to connect with your inner wisdom as old ones. Okay, you all ready? You got your parts ready? Okay, so children all over the earth asked, "Why does the dark go on so long? Won't the sun ever come back again?" The old ones said, "The sun is very tired. Maybe shoulder. Thank you for all the things the sun does for us. Light may return in the morning." The children sang songs to the sun. They thought about all the things the sun gave them. "Thank you for growing the lettuces and the corn and the rice and the wheat," the children said. "Thank you for growing the trees of the forest and the seaweeds in the oceans and the krill that feed the whales. Thank you for stirring the air and making winds that bring the rain." Every time a child said thank you, the sun began to feel a little warmer, a little brighter, And now, to help the sun here, I want you to call out what you want to say thank you to the sun for. We've got energy here. You know, we got to help the sun. But at last, the children had to go to bed. And the old ones said, "We will stay up and wait for the sun to rise again." The children asked, "Can't we stay up too?" The old ones said, "You can try." Oh my goodness, sorry. "You can try, but you will get too sleepy. But you can each light a candle, because all fire is the spark of the sun's fire." So the children lit their candles and put them in very safe places, and each flame was a little spark of the sun's fire, like we have up here. And the sun peeped out from between the arms of night and saw all the little fires and began to feel warmer and brighter and younger still. Early in the morning, the old ones woke the children. Together they climbed a high hill and faced to the east, the direction of sunrise. And I want to invite you all right now to stand and face to the east to wait for the sunrise. They sang songs to the sun. Oh, right, sorry about that. It's east in this case, all right? We didn't want them outside in the snow while we waited for them. Together they climbed a high hill and faced the east. We're going to pretend that's east. They sang songs to the sun and ran around trying to keep warm. They waited and waited to see what the dawn would bring. Oh, I'm going to need some volunteers to be in a parade. If you would like to be in the parade, would you please go out that door and join the sun? And there's some golden streamers you can pick up and be in the parade. There we go. We have a parade person. We need some more. More parade. More parade. Yes, go on. Get the parade.
I'm the choir.
Oh, you can't be in the parade if you're in the choir. All right, excellent. We've got it. All right, we've got some. We could probably take a few more parade people. All right.
Can come up now, too.
Okay, the choir can come up now as well. So the sky began to turn from black to indigo to blue. Slowly, the sky turned light. A golden glow swept over the horizon. Night opened her great arms. Are you going to open your great arms, Night? You could just... It's hard when people...
Liza's flashing.
And in a burst of brightness, the sun appeared, new and strong and shining. Come on in, sun. For in the long night, the sun had rested well and grown young from the songs and thanks of the children, young as a brand new baby, born out of night once more. Everyone cheered. Yay! And the children jumped up and down. Let's all celebrate. Please say with me, with enthusiasm, the sun has returned. The sun is reborn. And they danced and sang to celebrate the birth of a new day and then went home to breakfast. Please stay standing to fully welcome the sun and the parade.
comes the sun.
You can sing
Here
along.
comes the sun. I say it's alright. Little darling, it's been a long, cold, lonely winter. Little darling, it feels like years since it's been clear. Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun, and I say it's alright. Little darling, the smiles returning to their faces. Little darling, it seems like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun, and I say it's alright. Sun, 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 here it comes. Sun, 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 here it comes. I feel that ice is slowly melting. Little darling, it seems like years since it's been clear. Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun, and I say it's alright. Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun. It's alright. It's alright.
So, as part of continuing our celebration of the sun, we're going to have poetry in honor of the returning light. May all the readers come forward now.
Nice job, you guys. And it's good to see you all in costumes, too. All these colorful things. Okay. The Shortest Day by Susan Cooper. So, the shortest day came and the year died. And everywhere down the centuries of the snow-white world came people singing, dancing to drive the dark away. They lighted candles in the winter trees. They hung their homes with evergreen. They burned beseeching fires all night long to keep the year alive. And when the new year's sunshine blazed awake, they shouted, reveling. Through all the frosty ages, you can hear them echoing behind us. Listen, that was perfect, whatever that was. As the long echoes sing the same delight this shortest day as promise wakens in the sleeping land. They carol, feast, give thanks, and dearly love their friends and hope for peace. And so do we, here, now, this year and every year. Welcome, Yule.
Todays of Winter by W.S. Merwin. Not enough has been said ever in your praise. Hushed mornings before the year turns new, and for a while afterwards, passing behind the sounds. Oh, light worn thin until the eye can almost see through you. Still words continuing to bloom out of yourselves in the way of the older stars, your ancestors, seasoned from before knowledge, reappearing, days when the sun is loved most.
This is Winter Solstice by Diane DePrima. The fact is, the light will increase. It always does, whether we think it should or not. No matter how determined we are to be gloomy. We may be sure that things are worse than ever. We may even be right. But here comes the sun. Try and stop it.
How the Light Comes by Jan Richardson. I can't tell you how the light comes, actually. What I know is that it is more ancient than imagining, that it travels across an astounding expanse to reach us, that it loves searching out what is hidden, what is lost, what is forgotten, or in peril, or in pain, that it has a fondness for the body, for finding its way toward flesh, for tracing the edges of form, for shining forth through the eye, through the hand, the heart. I cannot tell you how the light comes, but that it does, that it will, that it works its way into the deepest dark that enfolds you, though it may seem long ages in coming, or arrive in a shape that you did not foresee. And so may we this day turn ourselves toward it. May we lift our faces to let it find us. May we bend our bodies to follow the arc that it makes. May we open and open more and open still to the blessed light that comes.
It's When the Earth Shakes by Chalon Harkin. It's when the earth shakes and foundations crumble that our light is called to rise up. It's when everything falls away and shakes us to the core and awakens all of our hidden ghosts that we dig deeper to find once inaccessible strength. It's in times when division is fierce that we must reach for each other and hold each other much, much tighter. Do not fall away now. This is the time to rise. Your light is being summoned. Your integrity is being tested, that it may stand more tall. When everything collapses, we must find within us that which is indomitable. Rise and find the strength in your heart. Rise and find the strength in each other. Burn through your devastation. Make it your fuel. Bring forth your light.
I hope you loved those poems as much as I do. Really beautiful words. So solstice, rather than Christmas, has been my primary holiday since I was a teenager. And I think it's because it's celebrating something that is true for all of us, regardless of our religion or lack of religion, and ancient and awesome in its own right. I hope you feel that just a little this morning. Those of you who know the pagan roots of solstice know that it is generally, like many midwinter traditions around the world, a festival of light. And I have spent solstice around many bonfires in many places, reading poetry and singing. And in the years that I lived on an island in Puget Sound in the Pacific Northwest, we would make a bonfire on the beach and jump into the very, very cold and very, very dark water of the Sound. That was quite intense and wonderful. One year, I was in Santa Fe at this time, and maybe, have any of you been at Santa Fe at the Christmas time, at the solstice time? Yeah, so you know there are tens of thousands of luminarias or farolitos like we had coming in last night that line the walls and the tops of buildings, the flat tops of buildings all throughout Santa Fe. It is really magical. If you can ever go to Santa Fe at this time, please go. And it is hearkening back to those old traditions. Even in my little neighborhood in central Illinois, because I had to celebrate solstice, I would organize little solstice gatherings on my block, and we would have farolitos lining the sidewalks of the Midwestern street. So to say I am a fan of solstice would be putting it mildly. And one of the things that I loved about TRUU when I first encountered you all in 2015 was that this faith community has celebrated solstice for many years. UU congregations often have very big Christmas events because Christmas is also a shared holiday, but here it's solstice. That's your big midwinter holiday. But I have to say that never in all my years of honoring solstice have I been part of something as beautiful as what happened last night. How many people here were there? Yeah, a lot of you, almost everyone. That's great. In the darkness of the round room, we made it as dark as we could, with the sweet voices and music of Paul and Micha, who are amazing, and the voices of the directions and of the readers, and the song of that little girl, Molly Tiernan, honoring Cailleach, the goddess of winter from the Gaelic countries. And the great Cailleach herself, wasn't that impressive? Played by Ruth Trowbridge. You would not know who that was. She was completely hidden in her costume. And wait a second, I wanted to say, yes, so I wanted to tell you, we've been working on this a long time. I'll tell you more about how it all happened. But one of our ideas was that it is as important to honor the dark as it is to celebrate the light. And that might have been unfamiliar to some of you who have been part of other solstice celebrations. The dark in our culture is often the villain, right? Associated with evil and fear and the unknown. Think of every horror movie you have ever seen. And the awful thing about this cultural idea is that we all internalize it. And everything dark, including darker-skinned human beings, ends up being feared or rejected, almost unconsciously. I will say that in my Zen tradition, we honor both, that in the dark there is union and oneness, and light and dark are like the front and back foot of walking. Each one needs the other. If you think about it, one doesn't exist without the other. And as my teaching minister said many years ago, when we were celebrating Easter in a UU tradition, he said, I can't celebrate Easter without Good Friday. Easter doesn't make sense without Good Friday. Celebrating the light doesn't make sense without honoring the dark. To give you a little peek behind the scenes, Paul and Micha and I have been meeting since October 22nd, 2 months ago. It was fall then, to plan and organize what we would do over these 2 days. And then we were joined by Liza and Andrew a little bit later in the process. We have been meeting weekly. So that's what it takes to create something like this. And so then, in the last few weeks, we have been recruiting for the many, many roles we had developed for these 2 events. I counted it up this morning. Over 40 people have made this possible. And I find that deeply moving. That's what it took to create something that was a community event. It wasn't just for this congregation, it was for the whole community, the whole Roaring Fork Valley community. We had over 100 people there last night, giving them an experience of the winter solstice. We knew, it was a little scary, that if people didn't come forward to help, we wouldn't be able to do a winter. The 3 of us could not do it, or even the 5 of us. We needed 40 people. So this fantastic community stepped up, did everything from bringing firewood, reading poetry, decorating, and creating. Peter and Kate brought all the makings for an arbor. We've been looking desperately for an arbor for weeks, so they just made one, because that's how they are. That's how we are. And we decorated it with boughs and lights. And then there were all these people who stayed afterwards to help put everything back. Some of us stayed pretty late. And people part of the service this morning. I could spend the whole rest of this brief reflection with my thank yous. Not to mention those who came and made the circle last night, because you brought it alive. Let me just say, you rock, all of you. Oops. This is what makes community. This is how we make community, by making coffee for each other, by vacuuming the floors at the end of the night, by picking up little bits of needles that had fallen everywhere, and sand, and all kinds of things all over the building. That's community. And you all know this. You know this so well. I think about how TRUU stepped up last year at this time when there were Venezuelan refugees living in the 3rd Street Center. And how many of you showed up and brought food and helped those people out in various ways. And some of you are still doing that in various ways. I just think of all the ways you bring good to this community, innumerable ways, both individually and collectively. This is what it means to be a Unitarian Universalist congregation. And friends, we need real community now more than ever. We are headed into some rough waters. I'm not telling you anything you don't already know. Where a big part, I think, of what will save us from fear and despair and hopelessness will be each other. You are the antidote. How you show up for each other. Being loved, being inspired, being cared for by each other in wider and wider circles of care, until that circle includes everyone on this planet, human and non-human. As we heard in the last poem, we must find within us that which is indomitable. Rise and find the strength in your heart. Rise and find the strength in each other. Burn through your devastation. Make it your fuel. Bring forth the light. We can all do this. In the coming months, we can let ourselves be dragged down by fear and despair and grief. And there is a place for grief. That's part of what we did together last night. but not forever. Or we can rise up, even in our fear or grief, link hands, and bring our individual light and gifts to help each other and those most in danger. This is essential. Let me say it again. This is essential. This is what will save us. And there is not a person in this room, no matter what your age, who does not have a gift to give, a light inside. Maybe you know that in India, when people see each other, they bring their hands together and they bow and they say, Namaste. The light inside me sees the light inside you. So I bow to you. The light inside me sees the light inside you. So now we are going to have a chance to sing. So you can stand for this. This is a special song. We are the rising sun.
So this is a chant, meaning that it is pretty repetitive, easy to learn, and it is even more joyful the more free you become with it as you get familiar with it. So feel free to harmonize, feel free to dance. Let's just make this joyful and let's learn it together. We are the rising sun, we are the change, we are the ones we've been waiting for, and we are dawning, we are the rising sun, we are the change, we are the ones we've been waiting for, and we are dawning, we are the rising sun, we are the change, we are the ones we've been waiting for, and we are dawning, we are the rising sun, we are the change, we are the ones we've been waiting for, and we are dawning, we are the rising sun, we are the change, we are the ones we've been waiting for, and we are dawning, we are the rising sun, we are the change, we are the ones we've been waiting for, and we are dawning, we are the rising sun, we are the change, we are the ones we've been waiting for, and we are dawning, we are the rising sun, we are the change, we are the ones we've been waiting for, and we are dawning, we are the rising sun, we are the change, we are the ones we've been waiting for, and we are dawning. Quiet, rising sun, we are the change, we are the ones we've been waiting for, and we are dawning. Even quieter, rising sun, we are the change, we are the ones we've been waiting for, and we are dawning. We are the rising sun, we are the change, we are the ones we've been waiting for, and we are dawning. We are the rising sun, we are the change, we are the ones we've been waiting for, and we are dawning. We are the rising sun, we are the change, we are the ones we've been waiting for, and we are dawning. We are the rising sun,
For the next part of our highly interactive celebration, we will be handing out some paper and something to write with. So the paper and the pens or pencils will start coming around right now. And I want you to consider what light you want to bring forward in this time and jot it down for yourself. And maybe you'll want to take this little piece of paper home and put it up on the fridge or mirror so that you remember, what light do I want to bring forward? So we'll have some time of silence as you consider that, and you can write on your little piece of paper. It'll be coming around here in no time. Does anyone still need a piece of paper or a pen? Raise your hand if you're waiting. That way we can be sure to get something to you. I'll just give you a couple minutes. And you can just drop your pens back in the baskets. They'll be right by the door at the end of the service. So you can just hold on to them if you want, and that way we don't have to try to rush you in your writing. So Dee Dee, you can just put the basket back by the door, and we'll just let people give back. And if you end up taking our pencils, that's okay too. So it looks like most people have written. Does anyone want to just, and you're kind of anonymous, there you are sitting, but just call out what you wrote about how you want to be a light in this coming time. And I'll just repeat what I hear so that it comes through for the people watching online. Calmness. Speaking truth and smiles. Bringing light to everyone. Focusing on the positive. Hope. Kindness. Faith. Thankful. Accepting. Resilience. Forgiveness and comfort. Authenticity. Tolerance, but also action. Wonder. Engaging as well as reflecting. Poetry. Love. Yeah, we hadn't heard that one yet. Peace and generosity. Fearlessness. There's a good one too. We're going to need that. Cheer. That too. Live, care, and share. Family. Yeah. patience, courage, hope, support. Aren't these great words? What was that? Say that. Health and strength. Yeah, health and strength. Protecting others. And if I misheard you, you can say it again. I'll listen more closely. Self-strength. That's fantastic. Thank you. I heard it right that time, right? Yeah. Okay, good. Well, that's a lot of inspiration for the first morning past midwinter. Thank you all. And oh, forgiveness, we have one more. That's great. You know, did I hear something from over here? Yeah. Friends and family. Okay, all right. I think Liza's going to come up for the collection.
We will now receive an offering for the support of this religious community and its work in the world. Thank you. You are invited to give generously and joyfully as you are willing and able. Online, you can make a secure donation by going to truu.org and clicking on the offering plate image at the bottom of the home page. You can also mail your pledges to the address shown on the slide, or put them in the offering plate as we pass it this morning. As always, we are so grateful for your generosity.
You might have noticed, if you were here last night, that we ended with a blessing from the poet Jan Richardson. So we thought, in the spirit of tying these two moments together, we would end today with another poem by Jan Richardson. Blessed are you who bear the light. And we just heard all those wonderful words. Blessed are you who bear the light in unbearable times, who testify to its endurance amid the unendurable, who bear witness to its persistence when everything seems in shadow and grief. Blessed are you in whom the light lives, in whom the brightness blazes, your heart a chapel, an altar where in the deepest night can be seen the fire that shines forth in you. In unaccountable faith, in stubborn hope, in love that illumines every broken thing it finds.
We will now sing a closing song, May the Longtime Sun.
May the long time sun shine upon you all pure light that's within you guide your way on. May the long time sun shine upon you. All love surround you, and the pure light that's within you guide your way on. May the long time sun shine upon you. All love surround you, and the pure light that's within you guide your way on. May the long time sun shine upon you. All love surround you, and the pure light that's within you guide your way on. May the long time sun shine upon you. All love surround you, and the pure light that's within you guide your way on. May the long time sun shine upon you. All love surround you, and the pure light that's within you guide your way on.
We will now extinguish the chalice. Please join me with the words of our chalice extinguishing. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. We'll now send us forth.